Yeah. Do I have any clue what I just said? No, I do not. Hello, everybody, TKO here, and welcome to my unboxing and review of the Attack on Titan Figma Mikasa. Yes, y'all, if you kept up with my, if you keep up with my community tabs, you guys know that I recently finally watched Attack on Titan, well regarded as one of the greatest animes of all time, and after watching it, yeah, I get it. It's a really fucking good show. It's not one of my new favorites or anything like that, but I can fully admit that if you think this is the best anime ever made, honestly, you got my support. I got nothing to say. This show was really fucking brilliant, especially the way it transitioned from season 3 to season 4, how there was a huge plot twist and the execution was just absolutely perfect. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's a show that's very heavily with spoilers, so I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't watched it yet because it's a very long show. But pretty much from beginning to end, I thought the show was pretty much S tier. I really loved it. There was a little bit in season 3, the first part of season 3, I thought was a little bit slower. There was a lot of characters I really didn't care about in that part, but it brought it right back with season 2 part 2, with season 3 part 2, which was actually my favorite part of the entire show. So yeah, really fucking amazing show. I really loved it. And Mikasa here is probably my favorite character from the show. Now I say probably because I actually still haven't decided fully if she is my favorite character on the show. It's between her, Hanji, and Erwin. They are my 3 favorite characters on the show. And yeah, but Mikasa, I think, is probably my favorite. I really loved her. She was just really badass. I always have a thing for badass psycho chicks, man. For some reason, I just always have a thing for them. But I am really freaking excited to get this Figma. I'm really looking forward to this. This is a very old Figma. This is actually officially the oldest Figma I will own. So yeah, there's that. I do want to say the box is pretty banged up on this, but I guess that's not that big a deal. Definitely could have been worse, you know. Could have been a bootleg, or the figure could have been missing, but yeah, box is a little bit banged up. You can see some creases here and some dents. But let's start talking about the figure. Let's start off with the packaging. So we have Attack on Titan, we have Kodensha right there, 203, Figma action figure right there, Mikasa, Ackerman, Attack on Titan. We have the figure and all of the plethora of accessories right there. On this side, we have an awesome picture of Mikasa right there, which is very cool. On the back, we have a ton of product shots right there showing her in all the different poses you can put her in, with the ODM gear, with the poncho, with the different faces. Super cool. On this other side, you have her flying through the air with the zip lines and the swords right there. Super awesome. On the top, another picture of Mikasa with the poncho on, and on the bottom of the same picture right there. So with that being said, let's jump in to the unboxing. And here we have a Mikasa out of the packaging. I need to get a figure of Tsukasa from Dr. Stone so I can have Mikasa and Tsukasa. But right out of the packaging, this is a very nice Figma, man. I really think this is going to be a... And here we have Figma Mikasa out of the packaging, and oh my god, y'all, this is another one of those freaking amazing Figmas that you get every now and then that just blows your mind because, oh my lord, they crushed it with this figure, and it is so old, too. I was actually expecting this Figma to be not all that amazing because of how old it is, but clearly there was some Attack on Titan fans at Good Smile because they made this one good. Now, you don't actually even need the stand for this figure. This figure stands up extremely well on her own. You can see, yeah, really, you don't even need the stand for this Mikasa figure. She stands up really well, but getting in here close on the details, I think they knocked it out of the park with the face sculpt, man. It looks great. You have her hair right there, looking awesome. The bang going down into her face. You have her eyes very nicely picked out. Her mouth right there. Just like with any Figma on camera, it looks a little bit worse, but once you get it in hand, it looks absolutely amazing. And moving down to the uniform right there, she has all of the necessary things she needs to have her ODM gear. You have her scarf right there. Here, Mikasa, have this dumb scarf. You have that right there. You do have the holsters right there for the swords right there, which is really cool. The ODM controls right there. You can plug them in right there. We'll talk about that when we get to the accessories. We do have the Wings of Freedom printed on her pocket, on the arm, and on the back right there, which is really awesome. Of course, on this side as well, really great. They picked out everything looks really great. Just like any Figma, she looks like she walked out of the TV show. It's really gorgeous. nicely done. And then moving down, you have the garter belts right there. You have all of the little belts and everything right there, all the little pouches. This is where the sword holsters are going to go, which is really awesome. They absolutely crushed it. And unlike some of my Figmas, she is pretty much perfect in terms of her stance. Like, she does not have any like weird things with the joints. Like my Amelia has an issue where this leg is shorter than this leg. Nothing like that on this Mikasa. She is absolutely perfect, basically. Really, really amazing. I'm really happy with this Figma so far. And unlike Naofumi and Nezuko, there's not really anything to be fiddled around with this figure. The only really thing is the scarf, and if you really hate the scarf that much, you do have an option to get rid of the scarf with the accessories, which we will talk about when we get to the accessories. But first, I do want to do some comparisons, and I did already bring her in, but I am going to put her back on her stand here so they are equal length right there, because Amelia's on her stand there. So here she is with the Amelia Figma right there. Amelia is a shorter Figma, so that shouldn't be too much. Of course, she does have the hood on right here, but to bring in another shorter Figma, here she is with Rimuru right there, and you can see she is certainly one of the taller Figmas right there. You can see she is quite a bit taller than Rimuru. Here she is with my other oldest Figma. This Ryuko is 220, and she is 203, I believe is what she was. Yes, 203 and 220. So there you have it. Very nice. And I actually think she's better than Ryuko. So I don't know how that worked out, but yeah, I definitely think she is better than Ryuko. Ryuko is one of my favorite Figmas because of the character, but she's actually probably, in terms of just overall Figma, she's actually one of the worst ones I have, actually. She's very fiddly, and some of her accessories are a bit of a head scratcher, but still love it, don't get me wrong. But yeah, you can see Mikasa's even a little bit taller than Ryuko as well, and she is also a bit of a taller Figma. And here she is with Aqua, another of my taller Figmas right there. You can see she's about the same size as Aqua. And then one more that I'm going to throw in here because I really want to say something. Here she is with Naofumi. Now, I am comparing her with Naofumi so I can say something. Guys, in case I know people mainly watch subs, but I'm a dub watcher. But the voice actor for Naofumi, Billy Kametz, actually passed away recently, and it broke my heart. It came out that he had stage 4 colon cancer, and he put up a video. He said he was going to be okay, and then a couple weeks passed, and I heard the news that he passed away. This really did hurt me a lot. He was an absolutely amazing voice actor. I remember throughout the entirety of watching Rising of the Shield Hero Season 1, all I could think of was how amazing Naofumi's, how hard they nailed Naofumi's voice. I just thought it sounded absolutely perfect. He had that perfect kind of mixture of badass, but still kind of a nice guy who you really want to root for, and he just absolutely crushed it in that show. And also, Billy Kametz also voiced Nikolai in the final season of Attack on Titan, and another character that I actually really thought he did a great job in that as well. Like that one scene. I guess I'll throw a quick spoiler warning out there in case you've never watched Attack on Titan, the final season. But the one scene when he finds out about Sasha, that's all I'm really gonna say, just to try and avoid spoilers as much as possible. That one scene when he finds out about the truth with Sasha and Gabi, that scene, you know, all I could think of in my head is, oh my goodness, Billy Kametz, you were such an amazing voice actor. You absolutely crushed every single character you did, and I would just like to take this time to say rest in peace to Billy Kametz, and I really hope you guys will join me. Rest in peace, Billy Kametz. You did an absolutely phenomenal job as a voice actor, and I will never forget your work. Every single time I watch something that you have voiced in, I will never let it go unpraised. You were taken way too fast from us, man. Rest in peace. Alright, now with that sad part out of the way, let's go ahead and move in to the accessories, which they did a great job with this figure. First up, we have some alternate faces. First up, we have one right there. She's a little bit angry, just a little bit angry. Someone's messing with Eren or something like that. This isn't too bad. Someone stole her scarf, or someone's messing with Eren. You know, she's angry Mikasa, but she's not like ready to kill you Mikasa right there. Unless you're a Titan, in which case you're probably already dead because, yeah, Mikasa doesn't let Titans live. But the other face, which I think is going to be the one I end up displaying her with if I don't display her with the default one, you get this one. Yes, absolutely screaming. She sees a Titan and she is going to go absolutely obliterate that Titan. So we'll plug that on right there. Switches out like any other Figma right there. Very nice and secure. Switching out the pieces on this figure is really good. It's really easy to switch the faces and to switch the hands right there. They just pop right off and then pop right back on. Really, really amazing. I absolutely love it when Figmas are like that. The hands are a little bit difficult to pop back on, but not a huge deal at all. So there you have her with that. Obviously, this looks a little bit weird right now because we just have her in a neutral pose, but if we get her in an awesome pose with the ODM gear, that's gonna look fucking awesome. And of course, being a Figma, we get our sprue of hands right there, all of the different hands for her. We get some relaxed hands, we get some control hands right there for the ODM gear. We have some other hands right there, which look like, I'm actually not sure exactly what those are for, because these are for holding the controls. I'm not sure what those would be used for. And then we have some splayed out hands right there. She comes with some fist hands out of the packaging, so if you wanted to, I bet you could recreate the salute. Hell yeah! There you go. Societal, societal. That was my favorite of the Wit Studio openings. I know the first one is iconic as hell, but that was my favorite of the Wit Studio openings. Both of my favorite openings of this show are the final season openings. Both of those are my favorite because I just think those two were fucking outstanding, like masterful openings. But that one, the season 2 opening, that's my favorite of the Wit Studio ones. But yeah, there you have that. You can get her doing the salute. That looks awesome, actually. I'm sure a lot of people probably display her like that. That looks awesome, seriously. There you go. You can give her a bit more of a looking up pose right there, so you can really give her a good saluting pose. Oh, this is a good Figma, man. This is a good Figma. But, of course, if you want to switch out any of these hands, all you need to do is just pop them off. And we are going to go ahead and pop on one of the control hands right here because I am going to be showing off how that works, obviously. So let's just go ahead and take the opportunity to pop one of these on. It's a little bit difficult. Not gonna lie, that was not a pleasant experience even remotely, but there you go, there you have her with that. Yeah, hands are not fun to switch on this figure, so I take that positive back on this figure. Hands are not fun to switch. The face is fine, face is switch just fine, but the hands, nope, those take some finagling. But there we have that. Now let's jump into, well, first off, let me show off this accessory. We get a shirt collar right here, and this is for if you want to take her scarf off. Now, I really feel like it's kind of sacrilege to not display her with her scarf, but it is one of those kind of floating pieces that's a little bit fiddly while it's on her, so we can try this out, see how this looks, see how this works, and see if it's how I want to go about displaying her. This one actually does go in very snug, which is a really good start, and there you go, and actually that does look really, really good. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided yet. I mean, I know, once again, it's kind of sacrilege to not display her with the scarf, but I think that does look a little bit better. I don't know. You guys can be the judge of of which way you prefer the way she looks, but I'm kind of leaning towards this. Okay, finally, at long last, let's take a look at the ODM gear, the omnidirectional mobility gear. Oh, I have been dying to try this out, man. I have been absolutely dying to try this out. This is so cool. They did a great job on this. Look at this. It's a nice weight, too. It definitely feels really, really, really good. You can see all the sculpting right there, the sword holsters right there, and the air tanks right there. Really awesome. Then you have the little actual piece right there that lets them zoom through the air. Really awesome. The controls. Oh, let's just get this on her. So we got to pop her off of the stand here, and then we have to take this. We're going to bring her arms up. We're going to plug this peg right there into this port in the back there. So we're just going to plug that in right there and just get that in there. Nice and squoze in. There we go. Beautiful. Goes right in there. And then we want to bring these around, and we want to plug them into these peg holes on the legs here. So you want to bring that around and plug this in to that peg hole. And it goes in a specific way because it has to sit correctly right there. And those pieces are on ball joints as well, so they can move around as well, which is really, really cool. And then you do the same thing on this side. So you bring that in, get these controls out of the way here, bring that in, and plug that in right there. It's a little bit difficult, but there we go. And then we do also have the zipline shooters right here are also going to plug in to a little peg hole right there. They're just going to plug right into a little peg hole right there. So just give those a good push. Be a little careful with these because this is all very thin pieces. So use some caution when you're doing this. But get all that tabbed in place right there. Same on this side. Kind of difficult. There we go. So we have the ODM gear all on there. We have all the pegs into all of the slots right there. The zipline shooters are secured. The sword holsters are secured. And the actual thing right there is also secured right there. And then we can just take the control pieces here, and these can just plug into the holsters under her jacket. Just like that. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we do that, bring that up, and just get this tabbed in right there. And there we go. There we have her all decked out with the ODM gear. There you have it. And then we can plug her back on the stand, although she actually does stand up very well, so do keep that in mind. But we can just plug her right back in to the stand. There's plenty of clearance for the ODM gear. And there we go. There we have her with the ODM gear on. Next up, we have the swords, and these look absolutely fantastic. Are these removable? These are not removable, okay. That's a little bit unfortunate. I wish you could, wait, are these seriously not removable? Okay, yes, they are removable, okay. I was gonna say, why would these not be removable? That definitely seems like something that should be the case. But yes, they are removable. Just be careful with them right there. There we go. There you have the sword, and what we can do is we can just take one of the controls here, take this out of the holster, and then plug the sword into right there, and then give it to her to hold. Just get it in the hand, kind of work it in there, and get those fingers into the control pieces right there. A little bit difficult. I got one of the fingers in there. There we go. So there you have her with the sword right there. That looks absolutely awesome right there. Or, of course, like I said, you can take the sword out and she can just have the controls right there. Or we can plug the sword back in. So there you go. There you have her with the sword. And, of course, you do get both of them. So you can give her both of the swords, which is super, super cool. So there you go. That looks awesome. Check that out. You can give her the sword right there. And let's pop back on the pissed off expression right there. So let's just pop this one off. Give her this one back, just like that. And there we go. And give her a bit more of a dynamic pose right there. Yes, there we go. It's not complete yet because we don't have her flying through the air yet. I mean, all we have to do is just give it a little bit there. But we have some more accessories to go over that let you get a bit more of a better flying pose right there. But hey, we can do a little bit right there. This ain't horrible. So yeah. Looking really, really, really great. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a good thing right there. Look at that. That looks fantastic. That looks fantastic, the way the sword works and everything. Really, really awesome. Really fun and smooth to pose around. Yes, this is definitely a good Figma. And next up, we get the zip lines, and these are very cool as well. So what these do are we just take them and we just plug them into these zip line shooters right there, and there you go. So we can have her using the zip line right there, flying across the air. You can give her the other one if you want to. There we go. And just get that plugged in right there. Be careful with these because they are kind of fragile, so they might snap if you're too hard on them. But yeah, there you go. Then you can have her flying through the air right there. Put her in a more dynamic stance right there. And there we go. We can have her flying through the air right there. There you go. That is awesome, man. I think that looks really, really, really cool. I mean, obviously, you're going to want to try a little better. There you go. Give her a little bit more of this. These are a little bit weak, but that's a really easy fix. All you have to do is get a screwdriver and just tighten up the screws a little bit, and you will be all good to go. Don't tighten them up too much, because then it might break. It might break really easily, but tighten them up a little bit, and there you go. You can have her flying through. We need one more accessory to complete this pose, and that is the puff of air coming out of the ODM gear right there. And what we do is we just pop her off of this. We want to get this little piece off of the ODM gear, this little disc piece right here. So we want to pop that off, pop on the little bit right there. It goes on very secure, very snugly, so that's really, really good. And then we just plug this in to the stand. Like I said, it goes on very securely, so don't worry about it. And there you go. Oh my lord, that is crazy looking. Holy shit. We really got to tighten these up though. Oh my, okay, yeah, come up. There we go. Oh my lord. Okay, so you gotta really tighten these screws up. Oh goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is crazy, dude. This is absolutely nutty. There we go. Get those nice and tight. There we go. Holy mother of God, this is crazy. So there you go. You can have her in the complete, just, oh my lord. I mean, I think it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Like, there you go. That is all the accessories you get to have her flying through the air right there. And that is, very, yeah, that's really freaking cool. That is really freaking cool. Although it's kind of difficult to get her in a really good pose with all these freaking accessories on her. But yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming, honestly. But I mean, it speaks for itself. It looks really good. Oh, we still have one more thing to show. We have these little blast effects for the freaking the goddamn, what are these freaking things called? The zip lines. There we go, the zip lines. We can just plug these right there, and you get them for both sides, and these just plug in right there, and it's just a little puff of smoke that makes it look like it's shooting out, which is pretty cool, although admittedly I don't think you really need that, but it is a good accessory to include nonetheless. Okay, so admittedly when you start using all of these accessories, the puff of smoke and the ODM gear and all this shit, this figure does start to get a little bit fiddly. I'm not gonna lie, just a little bit. Now, it's still freaking great, and I still really like it. Get that back in there, get that back in there, there we go. It's still really great, and I really love it, but yeah, definitely a little bit, a good bit more fiddly when you get all this stuff on her, because yeah, these pieces move around a little bit. These pieces don't love to stay tabbed in, which is honestly a little bit annoying. That's really starting to kind of bug me a little bit. And trying to use all these accessories, like the little air puff that she uses and the zip lines, it gets a little bit ridiculous. Now, we do get a little bit more accessories to go over here. Next up, we have the poncho right there, so you can give her the poncho. Now, I'm not going to use this because I have been told by people that this little plastic piece, when you put this on, because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take this and you're supposed to put this over her head. But I have been told that when you do this, this plastic piece right here rubs against the back of the Wings of Freedom and starts to scuff them off a little bit. So be extremely careful if you decide to use this. Maybe put like a little piece of plastic in between this and that. I mean, I guess I could give it a little try right there. So yeah, if you just get that on there, right, that, and then you get a little plug, just like the Figma Now Fumi, that allows you to plug it in to right there, and there you go. And that actually does look pretty cool, admittedly. So there you go. There you have her with the poncho. This does take away the stand port, though, so you can't have her on a stand if you have her with the poncho on, which means you can't put her in a flying pose with the poncho on. So yeah, that's a little bit not thought out all that well. But yeah, that's how the poncho looks. I'm gonna take this off before it starts ruining the Wings of Freedom on the figure. So let's get this off. Take that plug off. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see anything from that one use, but just be careful, okay? And there you have the accessories. Now, you do also get this other string right there, and this can be plugged into the zip lines, and these have hooks on them, so you can hook her onto stuff. So that's pretty cool, and then you get some extra thread as well. But that is something that you can play with on your own time. There you have it. A lot of accessories with this figure, but a very nice Figma overall. Getting into my final thoughts on this Figma, I absolutely love it. I think this is actually probably towards the top of my list for my favorite Figmas. It's really good, guys. It's really well done. The articulation's great. The tolerances are fantastic. It's not a overly fiddly Figma in its bare form. It's actually very fun to mess around with, to pose around with. Yeah, it does get a little bit more fiddly once you factor in the ODM gear and the controls and all that. And all the little zip line pieces and whatnot, but still a really good Figma nonetheless. If you are a fan of Attack on Titan, I 100% give this Figma my recommendation. It is a pretty darn amazing Figma. So yeah, I don't think I can give this anything less than at least an A+, but I am going to hit it with an S tier, because I think this is actually going to be one of my favorite Figmas going forward. I think it's really awesome. So there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like, subscribe for some more Figma reviews in the future. And with that being said, this is DK Guillotine, signing out.